Pregnancy is something many women want its choice, but somehow women have it short in their faces, and there are a lot of people who are meddling in this very intimate situation, and they don't know how they might hurt you. People asking questions about when you want to procreate might also to be painful if you experienced miscarriages. And Meghan McCain just revealed some heartbreaking truth about her lost pregnancy. One of the hosts of The View, Meghan McCain, just revealed via a new op the New York Times piece that she had suffered a miscarriage last week. She called the experience horrendous and gave further heartbreaking details. She shared how a few weeks ago she was so happy to do New York Times cover story photo shoot about the ABC talk show. She described that would have felt like her moment of triumph. However, looking at those pictures just caused her heartbreak, as it was the same day she found out that she had a miscarriage. She opened up how, in those moments, all you can do is blame everything. I blamed myself. Perhaps it was wrong of me to choose to be a professional woman working in a high pressure, high visibility, high stress field, still bearing the burden of the recent loss of my father and facing on top of that the arrows that come with public life. I knew I was pregnant before I formally knew I was pregnant. My body told me in all the ways women are familiar with. It told me in the same ways that I was miscarriage. The confirmation from my doctor came the day of that photo shoot at the worst possible time. I missed a few days of work. It was not many, but given the job I have, it was enough to spark gossip about why I would be away from The View. This was not supposed to be public acknowledge. I have had my share of public grief and public joy. I wish the grief of a little life begun and then lost, could remain private. I am not hiding anymore. My miscarriage was horrendous experience and I would not wish it upon anyone. After her public post, fans rallied behind the conversation panelist. They showered her with sportive messages and good wishes. So she took it to Instagram to thank them for the support and also to publicly praise her husband, Ben Domenech, for how he stood by her in these difficult times. Thank you for so many beautiful and kind responses to my New York Times at night times about my recent miscarriage. Ben and I are the luckiest, most incredibly blessed people in the world, surrounded by love and support. My hope is by continuing to share grief and loss and addressing these taboo subjects head on it, will people who have experienced the same to feel less alone. None of us are alone in this. I was petrified to share my story publicly, but I never ever let fear dictate my life choices. I will always take the leap. I will always roll the dice. And to this man who loves my wild heart, has never tried to change a single thing about me, and continues to be greatest source of strength, love, and faith a woman could ever ask for. I thank God for sending you to me every day, Ben. Having a miscarriage definitely affects you on more than one level. It's something so deep, and having her speak openly about the experience sure helps. It might help her or some other woman in need. It's a great thing she has all the support she needs. In the end of her article, she wrote, "When my father passed, I took refuge in the hope that someday we would be united in the hereafter. I still imagine that moment, even as I trust that a loving God will see it happen. Now I imagine it a bit differently."